Nice to see you here. And yeah, so in our previous sessions, we talked about interdisciplinary projects, its history, discussed best cases, saw examples of interactive installations, and yesterday we came to the topic funding and communication, discussed some life hacks, and today I would like to talk to you about the creation of the concept for the realization of the project. Discuss non-financial tools, tendencies, but also budget, so the planning of the budget, and share with you also some frameworks for the realization of such kind of projects. Let's imagine we already have a strong artistic content, right? We have already contacted potential partners, and some of them said already yes. And here the work begins, the organization begins. And I would say there are 3 stages of the planning of the interdisciplinary and maybe also any art project or festival or presentation. First, it is of course the preparation in terms of search of funding. And the second is preparation to the artistic realization of the project. And then the show itself, so the realization of the project. These are the 3 main stages, I would say. And from our private previous experience, there are really many challenges in preparation, realization, and presentation of interdisciplinary projects. And for example, now I will also tell you what examples do we have. There are only some of them, but first, for example, is special requirements for the location. For example, if you make an lightning installation, it should be pretty dark, or the facade should be white and without any holes, I don't know, windows or something. And sometimes you need very special equipment. This is number 1. Number 2 is normally there is no space and time for experiments. So, okay, of course, if you are invited for a residency program, you have plenty of time, you can work, collaborate, discuss, make experiments. But normally, if you are invited to a festival, or you should do your own solo project, for example in Vietnam, right? You should come and make it, and actually for this purpose you need to have something like plug-in and play solutions for that kind of project. The third thing is also unpredictability in planning and high need for flexibility, need for agile solutions. We are all now in the phase after pandemic. Maybe the pandemic will come again, and who knows how it will be. So we should really very agile, very flexible decide, okay, now it doesn't work inside of this building, okay, let's do it outside. What it will be if it rains outside? What should we do? Do we have other options? Do we have, I don't know, shipping containers to put them outside? It's still outside and a little bit inside, for example, right? To save the equipment, to save the installation and so on. Yeah. But there are non-financial challenges. The biggest challenge all the time is also the financial issue. So mostly it is lack of funding in general, especially during and after pandemic. Yeah, so this is also a the biggest challenge maybe. But I would say the pandemic situation offers not only challenges but also opportunities for interdisciplinary projects as well as for the cultural and creative industries in common. The chances are, for example, that the audience misses culture in general. And I think, from my point of view, this is a new wave of appreciation. Also, new growth markets arise. In addition to the digital presentation, that of course continues, now education or health or tourism have great growth potential, and there are also the relevant growth markets for cross-sectoral cooperation. Furthermore, the confirmation and further development of remote work efficiency gains also the international industry network. For example, we couldn't imagine 3 years ago that we can collaborate on any project. So, I don't know, team from Europe can collaborate with a team from Asia. 3 years ago, we should be skeptic about it. But now, all is possible. We have so many digital solutions like Zoom and so on. So our potential is really very, very big. We are already, what is it now? 2022, the end of 2022. 2023 is coming, and now we can already observe how the pandemic changed the general conditions for the realization of interdisciplinary projects also. Formats change and new formats emerge. We can already describe some tendencies for the coming years, I would say. And in order to be able to keep the distance during pandemic, for example, also in Germany, certain ways were being developed in such the visitors don't meet, so parkours. And such parkours create an intimate atmosphere and interaction between visitors and art, visitors and interactive installations. And this is really very cool, especially for interactive installations, for example, that you have like high level of this intimacy, and you just can be connected to the art. The second one, open air events became our normality at this time. And also we, for example, so Andrei and me, present now many projects outdoors. And there are many interesting places. I can just tell you about some of them: dome tents, facades, coliseums, where in audiovisual shows, mappings, projections, and other formats can be shown, but also outside. I mean, it is like a hybrid format, something like inside and outside. But when we also think more deeply about the dome tents, containers, and other transportable presentation surfaces, we can also imagine a road show, and it's really easy to imagine. So I just take my mobile dome tent with me and go from Vietnam to, I don't know, to to Kuala Lumpur with my project, right? After the pandemic, many organizations in the cultural and creative industries, of course, need investments so they can restart. It will be always hard. It was always hard, but it will be also maybe too hard to attract sponsors or other funding opportunities. This is also one of the challenges. But on the other side, projects with international cooperation will be easier to implement. So, as I mentioned before, digital meetings via Zoom and rehearsals in the VR rooms are now part of our normality. So, also in this way, we can reduce our travel costs. This is also something good about the pandemic and about the situation right now. So, digitalization also offers new implementation options for hybrid formats. You can easily register via Zoom to watch audiovisual performances, take part at the conferences worldwide. So now, for example, we also have a hybrid format. Some of the people are sitting here and other people during the rain just watching with a beer the presentation. So at home, like comfortable. And also now you can participate and look at AR museum rooms in, at our home just, yeah. So, and there are all thoughts that we should think of since we want to realize an interdisciplinary project. Tomorrow we will discuss it more deeply on some examples, so really from our praxis. But let's come also to the topic budget. Yesterday we agreed that it is necessary to have a mixture of different types of funding that can keep our project be sustainable, realized. Because, you know, if we just think, okay, so somebody will give us plenty of money, no, it will not work, and for sure not in this situation, in this world situation. And we need to make a mixture just to mix like a salad all of the funding opportunities to get it this year, but also the next year and the other years, just to be sustainable. Now we will come to the planning of our budget. When preparing a financial plan, flexibility in implementation, modularity of the project, and the use of new technologies should be taken into account. Of course, we really need to plan. Yes, I know, so artists, designers, sometimes we are too creative, but we should think about funding, because now we should be all very multitasking to have an opportunity to realize our project. So, and since the planning of such events shows a certain instability, it should be, of course, reflected in the financial planning. That's why it makes sense to use a modular system for financial planning. And now I would like to show one module. Yeah, I'm really sorry, it's in German, but I think it's easy to understand and I will translate everything, no worries. So this is just a module of one of the projects, and I will talk about it a bit later, but first the principles, right? The principle here in this modular financial planning is simple, from small to large. The smallest module may cause almost no cost to low cost. The smallest module in these terms can be, for example, the result of cooperation, or for example, with location or with artists. Larger modules are based on the cost of the contractors. In this case, the festival or the project only covers the costs of the partners and offers certain marketing measurements in return, for example. This type of cooperation can be if both sides have been already collaborating on different projects, they have like a story of the collaboration, and now they say, okay, I give you a good price and you give me, I don't know, marketing, advertising, or something like that. In general, if you don't have enough project budget, as described in your business plan, what you prepare, you just have to scale format and project accordingly smaller. So, and still you will have the opportunity to realize it. Only then decide which modules can be implemented at all and which not. Let's come to the common costs of your calculation. So the financial planning is about funding and costs. Funding and costs, yes, so on the both sides. The cost you normally have during the realization of an interdisciplinary project are, for example, the location. But it's not only the rent. Sometimes it's also electricity, cleaning, security service. Here, my advice is just try to win the location as a partner. So you will save money for sure. So the other types of costs is, for example, rental or leasing of technical equipment. Event technology, for example, including photo and video and everything like this. But really, in this case, if you have no budget for it, try to find companies that are ready to sponsor the equipment. I mean, it's called in-kind sponsorship. So maybe that would help. Yeah. So if you can properly explain them for what do you need it. The next thing is, of course, PR, marketing and communication, digital marketing. It's really, at this interdisciplinary project, it's really very important to invest in marketing and communication, because if people don't understand what project is it, who makes this project, maybe it will not be interesting for them. So try to use really PR, marketing and communication in proper way and invest money in it. There are also external services like catering or outsourcing, possibly translation. So sometimes, it can be that you need a translator. There are also fees. Now we shouldn't forget about the fees for artists, technicians, management, staff, and so on. And also fees and contributions, licenses, customs, if you make an international project. Shipping costs, yeah? So sometimes you will ship your solutions, ship your installation from one country to the other country. And travel expenses and hospitality. And actually, these costs can be also saved if you have plug-in and play solutions. So sometimes it's not necessary to come, that the big team from Vietnam will come to Germany, or the big team from Germany will come to Vietnam, because if there is a plug-in and play solution, we just transfer the data, the software via internet, and that's it. And of course, these kinds of costs, you cover it from a mixture of different funding opportunities. Sponsorship, in-kind sponsorship, institutional funding, governmental funding, entry tickets, drinks during the festival or the project, so you can gather something together. Now see, you have a modular plan, and here begins the brainstorming, because your creative solutions are actually based on your financial plan. And let's go to this small table. This is a module. So for example, we take our project emotional blender, so the visualization of the emotions. And as you can see here, there are 3 versions. So the left one is the smallest version. The version in the middle is the medium version, I should say. And it can be also a festival version or a big version. And just brainstorm, what do you need for your project? For example, for this realization of emotions, in common, in general, as an ideal, we should have the technical equipment. It can be an LED panel, or it can be a projector, so we can make a facade mapping. We also need the software, and there is a license for the software. Maybe we also need to rent a location, and we need our fee, and maybe sometimes we should think about other costs that can come up, like, I don't know, maybe we should travel to other country, so there are travel costs. And you see, if you have the very small version, just be flexible. For example, okay, I need a location where I will showcase the project, but maybe I don't need to rent this location. Maybe I can ask my friends if they are interested, or my partners if they are interested in the realization of this project, and then, okay, I don't need these costs anymore. Yeah, so let's think this is for free. For example, then if the project is small and I don't have enough money for a projection, because of course the projection mapping is very cost intense, right? So if you do a projection, you need a projector, you need technicians, you need other staff to support you, so it can be expensive. So we say then, okay, maybe now it's just too expensive to realize it in a proper way as a projection, but we can still have other solutions. Like, let's think, I only need an LED panel to present this project also in a proper way if I have an idea how to do it. Yeah. So, I can also show you some examples of the presentation of this project, Emotion Blender, in many different countries and in many different situations and in different budgets, from almost 0 to very much, right? And yes, so maybe we will do it. Could you please help me a little with the website? Let's start from the version that is very simple, and this is the. Can you scroll a little? Stop. Reflections Copenhagen. If you see this third one, Uh-huh. So, for example, if you could show the pictures, please. For example, yeah, this project was presented at the non-profit festival, Future Festival in Copenhagen. Eliane, could you show other pictures too, please? Just, yeah, on your right. Yeah, so, and as you can see, it was an outdoor solution, but with a shipping container. So that was a little bit creativity, right? So we had no budget, but we still had the opportunity to rent an LED panel, or it was just a TV, actually this big, and it was very cheap. So we rented this one, and it was only a shipping container. But I love the idea of shipping container because you have very cool relationship between you and interactive installation. So I loved the situation, and it was really very cheap in the realization. Leanne, maybe you could also show other pictures from this festival. Yeah, you see, this is just a container. Yeah. Maybe then will come the pictures of also with a bigger festival situation. Yeah, you see the container outdoor, so in Midtparken district of Copenhagen. Yeah, so there is also a medium version, for example. Leanne, could you go back to the projects? To all of the projects, I think, if you click, So, medium version is, for example, Shades of Happiness in Dubai. Could you show it, please? We had the opportunity to present it on a bigger stage. And it was the huge LED panel. So it was a ready-made solution, and for us it was just plug-in and play decision. So we came with our software. We had the very big LED screen there, and we show it in a very, very big and nice way. And from the organizational part, it was already there. So we just used it for our purpose. Leanne, could you show, please, other pictures of it? Yeah. And it was really nice because people were just immersed into the artwork. They could take pictures, and it was pretty cool. And you see the screen is really huge. Yeah. Okay, thank you very much. And maybe if we go back to the projects, we have also realized that during the festival, and maybe this Die Blaue Nacht Nürnberg, so this, yeah, the second one, this is like a big version because it includes the mapping on the facade. So we not only have this LED panel, but also we have a big team of technicians that support us with the realization of the project, because now you will see there is a projection mapping. Yeah, like this, you see. So this is the huge facade, and this is already the mapping, and of course much Minecraft, and yeah, very cost intense. Yeah, what I would like to say, and maybe yeah, just in general, when you think of the realization and you think about the funding, just keep yourself pretty flexible. Of course, first you have your idea, then you have already some partners who say, okay, I like your project, maybe we can realize it together or something. But then think, still, we need something for it, right? And then make a short calculation, what could be your smallest version, what could be your medium version, and the largest version, the largest one. And then you have already the idea how will you make it. But then you start, of course, the conversation with the location, with the organizers of the festival. You just hear what budgets do they have or they don't have, for example. And you just try to understand how you will proceed and what flexible solutions you can offer to them according to their situation, for example. So, yeah, that's it from my side for today. And maybe it would be great if I can answer your questions.
I want to ask you about each event, how long it takes for you and the team to organize, to start from the invitation of the event to, for the production to start to plan how to transport the equipment and everything. Like how long normally?
So normally it also depends. If the project is really big, it takes also longer. So actually we have, you saw already, for this project we have a ready-made solution. So it is for us only plug in and play. We have our mobile studio. Actually what we need is our laptop. But then if we are invited for a big project, for example this Dubai project was organized for the Expo, for the Pavilion Germany at the Expo 2020 in Dubai, and of course the team that works on it is really big, and also the project is international, and Germany as a country shows something that Germany has achieved already during the years. And that's why, of course, the preparation for this project took a year almost, and the conversation were about like one time per month. We had a long conversation with the management, what we do. We planned, we had a very detailed plan after all. And still, for example, we needed to go to Expo Dubai in October, but it was not possible because of pandemic, and we needed to be there only in February of the next year. So yeah, still we should be very flexible in the planning, but yeah, some of the longest projects we planned like 1 year in advance. Now, for example, we have also a big collaboration, and we have started to plan it already. Yes, now, but we will realize it on only the end 2023. But if it is about a smaller presentation, for example, just a solo project, it takes us already 2 days because we have everything for it, right? So if we have our artistic concept, the visualization ready-made, so we only need 1 day to see the location, the second day to think where to put everything and how to organize it, and that's it. Yeah, so organize maybe some catering or DJ, yeah, that takes time, but not too much. Yeah. Yeah, please.
Okay, so I'm the manager of a band, and we play experimental music. So I'm interested to know about your experience about like when you ever collaborate with a band to make arts.
Yeah. Oh, that's interesting. So, then maybe you will give me also your context, because we are looking for experimental music, for example, because this is really what is cool. I mean, we love audio-visual performances, and do you know why? Because if you only show something, or if so see something, or if you only hear something, you are not immersed. But if these kinds of disciplines like visual and audio meet, the experience is great. I mean, the experience is even greater than it could be. So you are immersed in the sound and in the crazy artistic world. Yeah.
Like we never really done any of the project like this before. That's why I come here to learn from you if you have any. But basically, we did collaborate with different bands in Southeast Asia last month in a program that was sponsored by Girth Institute.
Colors. Colors, YouTube platform Colors.
No, like it was sponsored by Girth Institute, Ho Chi Minh City.
Goethe Institute, yeah. But it is from, I know about this project. Yeah, it is the collaboration with a very big YouTube channel called Colors. They make like modular studios all over the world, and East Asia is something what is really interesting at that time for them, and that's why they are here, and Goethe Institute supports this collaboration, and this is really cool. Actually, we our project that we realized on Wednesday last week, it was also maybe with a DJ from your project, with DJ Mess. I don't know if you know her.
His name is Zach.
Okay.
Yeah, so because in my mind I was like, okay, this is science, this is music, so how can we make it happen? Because we really looking forward to different opportunities to make like extend ourselves to different things. For example, because you presented about AI, then I was thinking maybe how can AI connect to music? Like,
this is
music.
really easy. I mean, for example, now we are working on the other project with, so we plan another project with one big concert hall from Germany. And the thing is that it's also a little bit about mental health. We visualized the emotions of visitors during watching the concert and listening to music.
Okay.
And you know, it is also about the mental health, because the thing is, now we have so many different gadgets. We have so many factors that disturb us. We cannot be concentrated on something, but really concentrated. For example, on music, right? And this project is also about the mental health in terms of you will see your level of concentration, for example, during listening to music. And you will see your emotions live moving around in the whole. And also, if you see there are too much discommunication, for example, between music and you will try to concentrate you, for example. So this is an really interactive project. But we had also many other audiovisual projects and collaborations with musicians, for example, with electronic musician Inuit from Germany, from Leipzig, or another one from Paris. So we have made really an not interactive but immersive experience. So the musician was playing live, and we of course listened to this music before, and we tried to, so yeah, it was his content that was for him like, yeah, it was like collaboration between the art and the music. Yeah. So, and sometimes it's really incredible how art and music can collaborate, can go out of each other and then back to each other. Yeah. So it's really interesting for me also as for a visitor of such experience. Yeah.
So I guess my next question is, how do we make the successful project when we collaborated between music and science and, for example, the designers, you know, like, because I'm connecting it with the current discussion that we have right now, like the starting of the project, managing the fund and stuff. Like, what should we be conscious about?
Yeah, so first, of course, it's good, you know, so how we normally start on working on this project, right? So there is an interest first, right? So experimental music, for us, it sounds very exciting. Then we think, okay, where is it possible to show? And for example, from my side, I know some opportunities where to show this project. Yeah, the location that are interested in this kind of project. Maybe from your side, it's also about the location, right? So maybe you know the right locations in Vietnam, for example, right? And then we just start to work on this project, to think. So we listen to music, to experimental music you send us. Then we give our feedback, how do we see it visually. So it is like a long process. I think it lasts about 1 month, and then it's ready to go. So then we can really step by step plan it. Yeah.
Thank you.
Sorry that I was late, so I missed like most of the part that you talk about finance. But can you shorten it a little bit about that for me, please?
Yes. Okay.
Thank
So,
you so much.
we just talked about the challenges that we have after pandemic. And it is maybe actually I can just send you what I said because there are some tendencies, yeah. So there are some challenges in realization of the projects, but also some topics, some tendencies that can be also interesting for us, as we would like to realize our project in the future. I just mentioned about many, many possibilities how to realize interdisciplinary projects and how to learn from pandemic, for example. And maybe, Leanne, can you write me if I'm wrong? But maybe you can see it online, right?
Yes, the video. Yes, I can see it.
On the homepage of Festival of Creativity and Design, right?
So I want to ask you about like which project is your favorite here?
Oh, they are all like babies for us, you know. So we really love them all, but. So Andrei, maybe that's a question to you.
Like,
what, because
like something like about make your emotional. Because it's, I see that your project, your art project and science is about mental health. You just mentioned, and also about emotion with science. So like the AI can catch the emotion of human. So which project make your emotion is like happy?
Yeah, so for me, maybe one of my favorite projects was the Blue Night of Art in Nuremberg. So because that was very nice organized, but it was also very, very... So we had fun during this project, for example. Or we had also very nice collaboration with MindKiss project from Karlsruhe. This is actually a very big and very deep project because the curator of this project is a wife of an artist. He had already 1980s very many different futuristic thoughts. He was a science fiction fan. Already that time he made experimental stuff with computer, made digital painting. But sadly he died in a car accident 2004. And after that his wife started to think, what will she do with his art in this new time, in this century of digitalization, because he was a futurist and he had already the vision till nowadays, and that's why she tries, for example, to connect analog art with digital art, with interdisciplinary art. For example, we also realized the emotions, realized the project with emotions, where we used the letters for the language for this visualization from his artworks, from his analog artworks. But it's not only this, she has also VR experience, so you can be immersed in the art of this artist, Obey, for 3 minutes, but really you are in VR glasses and you can just, you can just be there inside of his paintings. Also, we created with a musician from Poland a very, very nice audiovisual performance. It is an immersive performance with sound, and it's also about a journey through his artwork. So we love this project also very, very much. Andrei, what project is your favorite? I wanted to ask. Andrei, you have a microphone. Microphone.
I think I start in Copenhagen project.
Yeah, Copenhagen.
Yes.
So this reflections, what I have shown, because this was our first interactive project, and it was 2018, and it was really very, very challenging, because before 2018 we made digital art, we made projection mapping, but normally if you do something like this, you have no communication with public, with visitors. And that time it was like we presented the project, and I see there is like a line, 200 people that are waiting to connect them with this installation. And for me it was at first, oh my God, I cannot speak properly. What should I do with all of this? Yeah. It was really very, very challenging, but it was so nice because we were in contact, we were in interaction with people, and we met many people, we saw their reactions, and it was very... So, I mean, this is their experience, that if the artist get this experience, he or she can become crazy from it. Yeah.
Okay, there's one question from the audience online is about the platform. Like, you know that during the COVID time, it's so hard for anything to happen physical at somewhere. So most of us, like, we don't have any other choice besides the online platform for all the art or like for all the installation. But like, you know, all the current platform or the facility, or sometimes like even with the internet connection, they are not really good enough to deliver your artwork or the content that you want to deliver. So is there any experience that how you guys deal with that problem? And even now when the COVID seems to be fine with us now, but it's still there, and maybe there's some other reason. So people tend to try to make everything in a hybrid mode. So do you think, is this something good for like art installation or anything that relating to like art or any creative project? Because you know, like even like the virtual platform has a very good advantage, is that it can help us to reach more people anywhere, like anywhere, anytime they can reach your work. But sometimes the experience will not be as not real at all, because anyway it's still fake, it's still virtual. So how do you think about that?
Okay, yes, this is very interesting question, and I can answer it because I think that online platforms are really very, very good for communication. So if you have some formats, for example, like now, right? So we share our thoughts, we talk, and people can actively use the laptop to ask the questions, and not to go into the rain, right? And be at home and still hear the whole workshop. So this is nice. This is the advantage, and this is really very good. Also taking part on conferences, for example, also science conferences. So where we talking, where we changing, where we sharing our experience. So on digital platforms, it is still very, very nice. But from my point of view, it is too boring, for example, to see a concert online, or it is too boring to see the installations, art installations online, right? And to showcase the project, to make a proper realization of the project, we still really need offline format, because it's another experience. So also, as we talked about immersive installations, and I have shown you some pictures of immersive installations, you still cannot imagine how it is, because you are not immersed in this installation, right? So, and this is also the thing in online formats. You cannot be part of this. You cannot find the intimate way to be a part of the project. You don't know the vibes. I don't know. You don't hear all sounds that come from your laptop, for example. And yeah, so I mean, for talks, for workshops, it's really cool. For live conferences, for communication, and for new contacts, like hubs, online platforms are really good. But still, offline projects. So if you realize an interactive project, this is better. But also, if you have an opportunity, for example, to invite people, but you don't have an opportunity, so I mean, it's lockdown, and you still can invite people from your country to come to your event, but it's not possible to invite somebody from outside of the country. You can do hybrid formats, and we have also experienced it before. We had a festival during the pandemic, and not all the speakers could come, for example, for the workshops. And there were people here sitting, and there was a moderator, but the speaker was online. And it was okay, because the communication is still okay, and the technology allows us to do it.
Yes, and there's one more question from the online. That's they are quite curious about the risk management, because doing anything will have some certain risk, some that you can estimate it from the very beginning, but some just happen.
Yeah.
So can you share the experience how you can manage the risk, including the one, I know that something that you can already estimate, definitely we will prepare like the backup plan or like solution for that, but sometimes very unexpected. Or even with the sponsorship, like they say yes today, but they can say no tomorrow. Yeah, so is there any way that we can minimize or manage the risk effectively?
Yeah, yeah. So the management should be really very agile, and we should stay very, very flexible. It's easy to say, but how to do it, right? That's why the planning of the project from the beginning should have very modular system. And tomorrow we will talk about this modular system and modular implementation of the project. And if you have this modular system, non-financial system, I mean creative, conceptual system. At the same time, if you have a modular financial system, as I also mentioned before with this plan, modular business plan, so you can really think what modules are still there and what is not possible, but all the time, from the beginning. Also now, don't forget to have plan A, so my master plan, plan B, plan C, and plan D. Because in this situation, we should be really very flexible, but I think as creatives, we can. So we can be flexible enough.
I think we don't have any other questions online. Is there any other one here?
Yes. I want to ask about what you think, what is the most difficult problem or challenge you and the team to start or keep this working, like do
Keep going on the
going.
project,
Yes,
right?
Yes.
Of course, communication, because sometimes it's about communication, sometimes it's about flexible solutions, and I think it's very good to have a plan for upcoming year. So I talked like 2 weeks ago to an artist friend, and he told me, you know, Juliana, December is a very busy month for me. Do you know what I do? I plan my projects. Also, if I don't have them, I plan my project for the upcoming year. What we actually do, we also start to plan our projects at the end of the year. Now we have already like a plan that we have this and this and this. For example, 3 bigger projects. Maybe we will have also some smaller projects. And in December, it's just the time that you say, okay, I achieved this and this, I have this and these partners, I have in mind this and this artistic concept and ideas. How can I realize it? Just do the brainstorming the whole day, you know, think about what you have already, what you would like to do, because of course it's very important what you would like to do next year. Answer this question to you and then think, okay, for the realization of this and this project, whom I would like to contact, who should be on the boat, in my boat, right? And with whom we will go to plan this or this project. Yes, it's about planning, much about planning.
So you are the artist. You are an artist, and also like plan. You have to plan for your project.
Yeah.
Also.
Yes.
It's not like a project manager or something.
Yeah, we need all. So, okay, we are a team, right, of two. So, Andre, he's more into art, into visual things, and about experiments. Me, I'm more about conceptualizing. We do it together, of course, and also about organization. But we all, I think, also, if you are not two person and only one person, and you are artist, um, you should be in our time should be still be a manager too, and to plan your project and to communicate. So for this kind of projects, we should be a little bit like orchestra, to organize it all, because there are so many different aspects and so many different challenges you face during the realization of the project. That's why, yeah, it comes from communication, talking, ideas, partners, plan. Yeah, uh-huh. Thank you so much. So nice to hear. Thank you.
Yes, and I think we do not have any other questions online, and the offline audience here doesn't have any questions also. So I think we can stop the session today, and tomorrow is already our final session. So so far, hopefully that everyone have been really enjoy the content, and see you on tomorrow at the same time at 6:30
Thank you very much.
p.m. Thank you.